Good morning and welcome to Yoga by Beka. If you'd like to start off your morning with some yoga, let's unroll your mat, get into something comfy, and start out in a cross-legged seated position. Your palms are face up on your knees. Breathe deeply in and deeply out, taking this time to bring awareness into the body. Breathe in and reach the arms up, overhead. And then release your right arm down, stretch your left arm overhead, opening up the side body, while keeping your hips and sits bones firmly grounded into the mat. Back to center. Take a deep breath in, and now stretch your right hand overhead, opening up that side body, keeping your sits bones grounded firmly into the mat. Slowly take your left hand and grab your right knee, and then pull your right arm overhead towards the left knee, getting a deep stretch and release. Grab your left knee with your right hand now, twisting the side body. Take your left arm and stretch overhead towards that right knee, getting a deep stretch. Release back down, face the front, and breathe in and slowly do a Sufi grind. Exhale, release as you go to the back. Move your sits bones forward, opening up the chest, to the side and to the back, rounding the back, then back to the front. Change sides, round the back, rocking to the other side. Breathe in, puff the chest out in the front, making big full circles. Face the short side of the mat and open up the legs, but keep your feet on the ground, bending the legs. Reach up overhead and stretch over to one side. Back to center. Breathe in and reach deeply over to the other side and release. Now straighten the legs out. Stretch over towards one foot, keeping the feet flexed. Release back to center, and now the other side. and release back to center. Put your knees underneath of you, your wrists underneath your shoulders, and let's do some cat-cow exercises. Exhale and round the chest to the ceiling. Inhale and drop the belly down to the ground. On the rhythm of your breath, flex your back to the mat and then point to the ceiling. Then slowly transition into your first downward facing dog. Introduce some movement by moving your hips and your knees, taking your dog for a walk. Breathe deeply in and deeply out. Enjoying the posture. Bringing your heart towards the mat. Slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Letting your body be heavy. Grab your elbows and slowly sway side to side in ragdoll position. Bend your knees and slowly unravel up into standing. Bring the arms high in the sky. Swan dive down into forward fold. Look up halfway with a flat back. Release back down. Step the right foot behind you. Bend the knee. Look up. Step back into plank. Set the knees down, lower down chaturanga modified, bring up into cobra, tuck the chin and curl back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and release the air out. Step the right foot in between the hands, lower the left knee down, look up, shifting the hips up towards the front of the mat. Lift that knee back off and step up to meet the other foot in forward fold at the top of the mat. Uncurl your body high into standing position, arms up. Swan dive back down, forward fold. Look up halfway with a flat back. Release back down. Now step your left leg behind you, lowering the knee. Shift the hips forward, look up. Step back into high plank. Shift forward slightly, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Lift up into cobra. Tuck the chin and curl the body back with the hips going up into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply in and deeply out, relaxing through the breath. Step your left foot in between your hands, lower the right knee down, shift the hips forward, look up, and step your right foot to the front into forward fold. Bend the knees, uncurl up into standing position, brings the hands down at heart center. Take a few moments to notice how you feel, bringing your intentions and awareness inward, in towards your body. Take deep cleansing breaths in. Swoop the arms up and sit back into chair position. Bring your feet together and your knees together, making a straight line from your tailbone to your hands. Release, forward fold, look up halfway, and then step back into high plank. Bend the elbows, chaturanga, lift up into upward facing dog, then curl back into downward facing dog. Breathe in Breathe out. Step the left foot in between your hands. Plant your back foot. Lift the arms up into Warrior One position. Your chest is facing forward. Straighten the front leg. Turn and then sit your hips down by your front ankle. Lift your hips off the mat and reach overhead. Find a little movement and freedom by lifting yourself up and then resettle yourself back down, sitting the hips down on the mat. Turn your knee in and lay it down. Lift your hips up. Take that knee and tap it down and lift your hips up. Really playing around with your hip mobility. Now tap the knee down, raise the arms up, and fold over your extended leg. One foot is back by your hip. Square your hips off, making sure alignment is correct, and then lean over your extended leg. Hinging from the hips, grabbing your foot, and feeling a deep release and stretch in your calf muscle and your hamstrings. If it's a little too intense, you can always bend your knees slightly. Lean over your leg as far as what's comfortable for you. Walk your hands towards your midline, raising your torso up. Lift your knee up off of the mat. Back in Skandasana. Use your hands to aid you into coming up into standing position. Extend the knee out. Plant that leg that was bent behind you into Warrior Two position. Breathe in and reach the arms up as you straighten your front leg. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the leg. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, put your arms in a T position. Step up to the front of the mat. Arms up high overhead and release down. Plant that leg firmly into the mat and reach forward, lifting the back leg up into Warrior Three position. If you have trouble with balance as I do, as I've been working on my Warrior Three for a long time, do it as many times as you need. Just practicing. Sit back into chair position. Breathe in, arms swoop up. Exhale, dive down into forward fold. Bend the knees generously and uncurl up into standing position. Arms high in the sky. Swan dive back down. Lift up halfway with a flat back. Pop back into plank position. Lower down chaturanga. Lift up into upward facing dog. And then transition back into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Open your heart center to the mat, getting a nice deep stretch in a relaxed way. Step the opposite foot in front, in between your hands. Lift the arms up into Warrior One position as we do the other side now. Straighten that front leg. Now sit your hips on that heel, extending the other leg out into Skandasana with your foot flexed. Hindsight being 2020, I should have done this to where I'm facing the camera, so you're getting a back view of these asanas. But it is what it is. Take that knee and tap it in the front as you sit down. Lift your hips up, tap the knee into the front. Lift the hips up, tap that knee down, lift the hips up, tap that knee down again, and lift the hips up. Tap the knee down and keep it there. Square your hips off, reach high into the sky, and hinge from the hips and bend forward. Go as what's comfortable for you. Try to bring your heart center a little bit closer to the front of your knee, breathing deeply in and deeply out, relaxing into the stretch. The longer you're in the stretch, the more you may feel your body release, allowing you to lower down even deeper. Feeling a deep stretch in the back of your calf muscle as well as your hamstrings. Walk your hands back up, bringing your torso up. Breathing deeply in and out. Grab the arms high in the sky, bring them down at heart center in prayer position. Lift that knee back up again, and then using your hands, raise yourself up, and now bend that opposite knee in the front, planting your back foot into Warrior Two position. Straighten your front leg and bend it several times on the rhythm of your breath. Breathe in, exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, arms in T position. Step up to the front of the mat. Now let's practice our Warrior Three position on the other side. We don't care about perfection or how things look. We care about how things feel. Coming into yourself, imagining that foot that's planted in the ground as a connection to the earth, lifting the other straight behind you. Breathe deeply in, releasing, swan dive forward down to the ground. Releasing any stress in that back, letting the top of your body be heavy, the crown of your head pointing towards the ground. Bend the knees, uncurl your body back up into standing position, arms high overhead, swan dive back down. Breathe in halfway flat back. Step back into plank position. Go back into downward facing dog. Curl forward into high plank, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Lift the chest up into upward facing dog. Curl back into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high, stack the hips, bend the knee. Make some circles with your knee, imagining painting a big circle with that knee, introducing movement. Then pull that knee through into the front by your right hand, and let's get into pigeon pose. Slowly curl your torso down, and then breathe in and pull up, and then lay it back down. Grab your arms behind you, pull your hands up, stretching the shoulders, then release. Hips are square. Feeling a deep opening in your hip. Put your hands in front of you, clasp your hands together, but for your pointer fingers which touch, and then pull the hands over to reach to the back of your neck. Stretching in your arms, relaxing, letting the earth support your body in this pigeon pose. Release. Push your body up to where your torso is facing forward, looking up. Lift the back knee up. Go back into high plank, and then push back into your downward facing dog. Uncurl forward into high plank, lower down chaturanga. Pull up into upward facing dog. Tuck the chin and curl your hips back and up into downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up, bending the knees, stacking the hips. Making circles with your knee, pretending to paint big circles in the air. You can go first one way, then the other, whatever feels good to your hips. Then get up on your toes and pull that knee up and through to lay it down. Lay your knee by your left hand. Your foot is over by your right hand. If it's uncomfortable or feels dangerous for your knees, just bend your knee a little bit more. It doesn't have to be at a 90-degree angle. Do some body rolls, leaning your torso forward, over top, and then push back up. Then finally lay your head down and release it, grabbing your hands behind you and pulling the arms up and overhead, stretching out your shoulders, then letting them relax down at the small of your back. When ready, stretch your arms in front of you, grab your hands together, and then pull your clasped fists behind your neck, letting them rest in the small of the back of your neck. Stretching out the backs of those upper arms. Breathing deeply in and out, relaxing in the pigeon pose. Release slowly back down. Using your hands, push your torso up into a seated position with your chest facing up. Lift the back knee off the mat and push yourself up into high plank, then back into downward facing dog. Transition forward into high plank. Bend the elbows, chaturanga, lift up into cobra. or upward facing dog, then transition back into downward facing dog. Try to get your elbows to face downward, opening up the shoulders away from the ears and pushing your heart center towards the mat. Slowly bend your knees into tabletop position, but then push your hips back into child's pose. Lay your arms behind you with your hands by your feet, palms face up, and completely relax, letting all of the tension and control in your body go away, letting the earth support you completely. Breathe deeply in and out, bringing awareness back into your body. Eyes are closed, your mind is clear. Breathe deeply in and deeply out. Reach your arms in front of you, tint the fingers slightly, then relax them. Walk your hands back up to your knees, using your arms to raise your torso up into a seated position, into hero's pose. Hands are palms facing upward. Close your eyes and just breathe in and out. Unwinding from our practice, enjoying the stillness before you start the busyness of your day. Set your intention for today. My intention is to feel my absolute happiest and most comfortable, no matter what goes on outside of me and around me, keeping my inner peace and tranquility throughout the day. Bring your hands down to heart center, and you can go into a meditation, or if you've run out of time, go ahead and start your day. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and if you want to do more yoga with me, I hope you'll watch my other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.